Welcome. I'm Bill Wake. Let's see, I live in North Carolina and we had our internet back for about 18 hours and it went out about 2 minutes before the show started today. I'm going to do the broadcast and hopefully it'll come back and I can upload this later. Um, Otherwise, who knows when I'll be on. All right, anyway, today we're working on Betwist, which is a word game. And I know what I want to do today is work on showing guesses. There's a little extra work to do before that, but our focus will be make sure we can show the guesses you made. All right, and what we have is we have the guess so far at the top of the page. It's kind of like a partial word until they commit to it. You can tap on that word to commit to it. We throw it down on the bottom. There's a list at the bottom. In a way, that's what I want to do is work on that list. And I guess that's it. Well, we do the selection of the word in the grid here. All right, and then here's the guesses. Okay, so we already show them basically. What I want to do is, well, I think I'll extract an object out for it, a view object, and um, I think the thing it also needs a little button so we can show it as a list because it might not have enough room. Just stuff. Okay, we're starting to start anyway. I don't know why the simulator is just so slow starting up that first time, but all right. So let's see. What can we? Well, HEAD because we got that wraparound going, and if I click, we commit to it. And the thing we wanted to do was try opacity and see if that made any difference. I don't know. I can't quite tell if it's even in front or behind. I don't think it needs any opacity. I do think I really like the idea of having it slide down like that. I think that's cool. Um, I don't want to invest too much though because we have too much. It's kind of well, I go through this path. There's sort of like this bare minimum functionality that is the thing it's doing, and the way it is now, you can find a word kind of on your honor to be a real word, and enter it as you go and select it and get it down to this list. And in a sense, that's kind of what you have in a game. I mean, that's a kind of minimal game. Then the next thing up is you sort of get a fancier game with better rules. And I think our selection is that, we put a red border around the last letter and so on. We let you deselect everything and, all those kind of fancier rules going on around building up a selection. We do enforce that they're neighbors. If you click a non-neighbor, you start a new word. And that gets you so far. And then I think there's sort of a user interface polish that comes that's there. And I think we have the beginnings of that. I don't think this is the perfect interface or anything, but it's it's something we could show to somebody at this point. It's not like, I don't know, a text only interface or something. It's got some formatting to it and behaviors on it and everything. And then finally you get to the kind of extra polish, and I think animation of this thing, oh, it is behind. I can see it now. I wonder why. But like the extra polish, having it drop down like that, that's pretty good. I think that's polished, but it's very good animation to show what's going on. This guess is going into your list of words. Fixing it so it actually goes in front, maybe making it opaque as it goes. All those things are, they're the icing on top. And we don't want to put too much into those. It's nice to have some so you can kind of see the vision of where things are going. But if you spend too much time on that and you don't have, we don't have a dictionary yet. We don't have word generation yet or a board generation. We just get all these letters A through P over and over. Okay. We have some things we need to do. Okay. Let's see. So I think it's good the way it is, good enough for now anyway. let's see, update color and animation speed. Okay, and that's a start. Oh, I can't push. Haha. Okay, because I have no internet again. Okay, so I'll say defer that. Note that we slide behind the grid. I don't know why, but we do. All right, so I'm going to move that down a ways. All right, now show the list of accepted words. Well, we show them as a list. I don't know if I can get enough to make it obvious there's a problem. Also, I want another little button up here that's like a green check mark. Because I don't think this is not an affordance. You know, it doesn't scream like, hey, push me or pull me or touch me or anything. It's just like, oh, that's the partial word. Okay, but how do I know that I should click it to get it down to the bottom? All right, yeah, you can see. So that last one, it filled the board. Now it puts ... I could see making a fancier board that maybe gave us 2 columns, but I think the thing I want to do is make this put a little button on here that, like, maybe a document kind of button, but I want it to trigger showing this as a sheet with a scrolling list. Maybe it's not necessary. Could I let you scroll this? Would that be good enough? Yeah, I think that is good enough. All right, well, let's put this in a scroll view then. Now, the interesting thing for me at this point is I don't have any documentation because I don't have access to the online. So I may get stuck on some of this. We'll see. All right, what's document? No. No, I was thinking of a little page. Wow. I'm not in sync with him. Devices. It's not text. I wouldn't call it editing. Yeah, something. Oh, doc? I spelled it out too much? Okay. Yeah, I could see this little icon doing the job, but well, let's put some in. Okay. It may be livable. 2 columns would be better. I think your typical word length, it probably will fit 2. I mean, you're going to tend to get a lot of 4-letter words, 5-letter words, not 10-letter words. All right. Yeah, I think that works visually enough. Make the word list be scrollable. Oops. Okay. Insert in front of the list. That seems like a good thing to me, though. So I'd like the word to be put at the top right there when it lets go rather than at the bottom. And so they'd be in last to first order. All right, with a test. All right, so the game... okay, he says select location. And what his game has guesses. What puts things in guesses? Collect. Okay, I guess I just want to say create a guess, which I suppose is a selection, and prepend it. Okay. So let's get a test going for that. Don't know if we have a game. Yeah, we don't. Okay, so new file. Now, most of the methods in game are pass-through things, so we didn't really do any testing per se, but I want to say a game prepends a selected guess. And we don't need async and throws. Okay, so we will create a game. Size 2. Build it from the list A, B, C, D. Okay, we'll select the A. Oops. We'll collect that. Well, all right, we're going to do 2 to make sure it's prepended. Okay, game.select location 0, 1. And then we want to make sure that should be B, then A. Maybe collected would be a better word here because that's what we're saying. Saying that process is. And I expect this to fail. I think it'll come back AB. All right, but he failed. Okay. I guess we have to clear our selection between. Something's funny. Let's see, board. Or maybe content view. What happens when you hit selection here? We guess offset equals collect. Oh, we deselect all. Okay. Fair. And we're kind of doing this stuff ourselves. Okay, so I'm trying to enforce two things in there. It should come back AB now, not AB. Okay, this time it's got the wrong expectation we expect. And then game, well, I think we want to insert new element at 0. All right, so J. Oh. Yeah, that's okay. That's more to my taste. So this is plan. Okay, that seems good. Oh, he should work now. Oh, he came green, but he still had the old expectation. I was really hoping the new version of Xcode would get rid of these errors, that it forgets to delete stuff that's no longer true. I don't know what these are complaining about. Yeah, same thing. These were blank. Okay. I don't think we're totally blocked. I'll keep going a little bit, but that did what we wanted. It dropped it at the start of the list. Okay, so we'll keep that. All right. Now, no duplicates. That's a good rule. I don't know if I want to do that first. I kind of think this is a barrier to really sharing it. And I really do want to get to rotating. I think no duplicates. It's a good rule, but let's move it down. Let's move this up. Okay. And let me check in. So this is make then or show the newest guess at the front of the word list. Oops, no pushing. All right, and then now let's work on the game maker. Okay, so game takes a sequence and it assumes somebody's going to create a sequence for it. I don't know if we have a game maker right now, or a board maker. Let's see what content view does. Builds the game. I guess it's the app. Okay, he makes a game with a bunch of letters. Okay. Now I'm going to go back to what we said, I don't know, last week or some other time. We want to make, just like if you've ever played Scrabble, TM, whoever, you've got lots of E's and you have only one Q maybe, or one J or Z. And there's sort of a word frequency to it. Here's Scrabble the board has 12 E tiles, 9 A tiles, and so on. And that's an approximation of English's distribution of letters. Boggle has a slightly different one, plus it's divided up into cubes, so there's some that can't overlap each other. There's 2 G's. There's the other one, E, G. Okay, so, and there's a bunch of, I'm trying to come up with something that you can't spell because you've got the wrong letters. But they've done it so you don't, like, I could say, oh, I can't spell goggle or something, but you kind of can because there's 2 dice with it. But at any rate, we have a distribution here too. And I think what we want to do is get some distribution approximating this. It could be based on this ATAOANIRSHLDLU, which is very close to the Schroedelu of typesetters. This one's pretty close to that too. But I'm thinking maybe we somehow take this frequency distribution and embed it in a way that our maker produces the list of stuff. Okay. So I guess we'll just start making a game maker. I'm not sure what we want to be able to say about it. I don't think there's any need to do this. All right. Now, I don't know if there's anything we can say. I mean, it would be shocking if there were no E's in a list of 1,000 letters. That's a statistical question. And same thing if there were 100 X's, that'd be very unlikely. 100 Q's would be almost impossible with this. Or even, some number. I don't know. All right. And so what can we test? Well, we want to make sure, let's see, content view. Game. Right. I mean, this source needs to be at least size squared. I guess it could be bigger. Like, I don't know. Do we want to get into infinite sequences and stuff like that? I don't think we need to. But on the other hand, I didn't make it an array. I made it a sequence, which theoretically allows some variety, but I mean, I guess if I asked the sequence for the first X squared letters, N squared letters, I should get that. I should get that many. Okay. All right. What else could I ask? I guess I could ask some distribution kind of thing. I guess I could ask that they're not all the same letter. Maybe, I don't know. It's, well, I mean, even given this in 100 letters, let's see where to go. If I divide 1,000, oh, that's 10,000. Okay, so if I divide this by 8 and normalize it to that, 8 into 1277 is, I don't know, 100, 150. Am I doing that right? 8 times 100 is 800 plus 50 is about, yeah, something like that. So if I generated a, what would it be? I guess I got to divide if I generated 1,000 letters, there's almost no chance I won't have an E. And the number of E's must be bigger than the number of Q's. It would just be weird mathematically if that weren't true. Okay, so, all right, let's test the returns enough letters. Well, this is really sut in our language. Now, I'm not going to give it any qualifications. But I guess I should give it a size. Okay, well, that's an interesting guess, but sut dot I guess, am I going to ask it to generate? Or no, the sut is a sequence. All right, let's put it in here for now. Now, I'm not so good on sequence. I think I can just do that, and it should tell me I need some stuff. Unable to infer iterator. Candidate would match an infer iterator equals game maker if it conformed to interface protocol. Okay, I think we use sequence somewhere else. Let's see if I can find a good definition. Any sequence, row from a sequence. Well, let's try looking up sequence. Oh, well, we can give it a count, size. Now I should be able to call like drop first or prefix. Yeah. If I take that, I should get 9 letters. So if I ask for the first 9 things, it shouldn't blow up. Okay, count where both row cannot conform to binary integer. I think because I'm not specifying any type up here, it's messed up. Okay, let's go here, documentation. Okay, element iterator. serve as its own iterator. I need this, right? I might need to define make iterator returns. Okay. And this is going to return string. Well, I think I need next and I need countdown. I don't quite know how it knows what that means. It's simple. Declare a next method advances one step when it returns. When the sequence is exhausted, return nil. Okay. Hmm. I don't know. I mean, I think we could ask this thing to do something. Well, let's just return nil for now. Trying to get the test together first, right? Does not conform. A stable associated iterator type. Iterate equals GameMaker if GameMaker conform to iterator protocol. Well, how do I conform to that? Inject parameter call to count where? Oh. Prefix returns a prefix sequence. Well, I don't know if there's a count. Oh, maybe I only have count where. Okay. Got far enough the test can fail anyway. All right. Yeah, we get 0 because this thing says I'm out right away. Okay. So what we want to do is have it generate basically the next entry. Okay. Now, let's let candidates equal okay. No, don't really want that. I think this is the extended, I don't know, AI added in to try and autofill, fancy autofill. I mean, that's not a bad guess. Okay. But if you ask for next, basically I never want to return nil. But I want to make sure I have at least enough, but I don't care if I have more. And in this case, if you ask me for another letter, I want to be able to say candidates sub no dot random element, and I guess we'll put that in a string. Oops, lost a C. Will that work? I think because it's optional. Well, I guess we're guaranteeing there's always something in the candidate string, so that should be okay. Okay, I think that should pass. Right. Okay. So, create game maker. Check that it generates enough items, and I don't care if it generates more. Oh, don't push. I'll figure it out eventually. Okay. Yeah, and I think that's all right. And I took the technique I'm doing. Paul Hudson had a webinar a while back doing a game thing and kind of borrowing the technique he had there of create a string with the frequencies you want and then take a random element out of it. Okay. Let's extract this. Now, notice we have, oh, where did it go? Oh, I got it. Nope. Extract selection to file. Like, that's nice. And it guesses the name. It just doesn't know where to put it. Right, but we know better. Okay, so sequence, and he gets the random element. All right, now I'm going to make a test that's well, let's look at our counts. This is 50% more likely than E. I guess I'm going to say E is a lot more than K. and that'll give us a start. Now maybe this, somebody had one that was twisted around. Was it? No. Where was it? Oh, no. Oh, this one is kind of nice. It tells you how many per, I think it's 100, no, per 1,000. Okay. But I thought I had a different chart that did even nicer. But I think I can kind of do a rough divide. Or maybe I should just take these Scrabble words or Scrabble ratios or Boggle ratios. Yeah, let's just take the Scrabble one. It's been around a while. All right, so I'm going to take 9 A's. All right, well, let's say the test. All right, so returns lots of E compared to K. Okay, so we'll call game maker, and let's make it 10 so we have plenty to do. Okay, and we'll let E count oh well, no, let's let sample equals sut dot prefix 100, and then let E count equal sample dot filter where it's E, and K count all right. If we look at these Scrabbles, K has 1, E has 12. I'm going to say E should be greater than 3K. It should be greater than, I mean, it should average 12, but you know, it might not. So I expect E count is greater than 3 times K count. All right. Oh. Dot count. And this should fail. I don't know how many E's and how many K's there will be, but I think the error will tell us. Yeah. Oh no, it doesn't. E count goes to 4. It does. K count is 15. So it generated 5 Ks and 4 E's, which they were equally likely. So that's within the margin of error. But this is way, way off. Okay. And I'm going to use that as just sort of just enough justification. Now, maybe I will make this multi-line. Okay, so 9 A's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. B's 2. Well, maybe I can go a little more, a little bit less lines. C2. D4. Twelve E's, 2 F's, 3 G's. Do those have to line up? I forget the rules. Okay, 3 G's. How many H's? 2 H's, really? It's much higher here. We'll see what kind of words we get. I9. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think it's 1J, 1K. 4 L's. 2 M's. 6 N's. 9 O's. 2 P's. 1 Q. 6 R's. 4 S's. 6 T's. 3, 4. U4 V2 W2. Presumably 1 X, 2 Y's, 1 Z. We can audit that later if we need to. I'm skeptical about some of these. We'll see the quality of boards we get. Okay. Our test passed. Good. Okay. All right. I don't know that we need much else for Game Maker. We don't use it yet, but we certainly could, especially in where's our app? Did I close that? What does game say it wants? Just a sequence? Okay. Well, let's one thing would be pass in Game Maker here. Yeah, I think that's a reasonable step. The wrong. What? Why do I not have targets? He really should have that on the list. On-demand resource tags, no. Oh, there it is. Okay. Try running him again. No, why is... Okay, we'll clear out errors, see if that resets Xcode enough. That's a very old message. Not why this starts so slow. And actually, our game shouldn't it be 5? I think it should be 5, but we've got 4 for now. And I don't know why it's starting so slow, if that's a simulator thing or there's something we're doing, but we don't do a lot to get started. And we're generating 16 random numbers and displaying a bunch of letters, and that's about it. Oh, I can hear I'm running backups in the background. But that's not that dramatic. Have we... Okay. Maybe we should limit the size. I just assumed it was asking for as many as it wanted in the board. I'm thinking that maybe should be named grid, but let's see, where's content view? I mean, he runs through game size, and eventually asks for whatever's in that cell. Yeah, game row column. This is very suspicious to me. I don't know if somewhere it's trying to grab the whole set of things and blowing up from it, but let's assume that's what's going on. Okay, so game maker. Let's say it stops after n squared letters. It's like I have the wrong template installed. I wonder if it deinstalled John's stuff on me. Okay, or provided its own template. I don't know. Let's see. So we'll need this. If we take the prefix 10, it should still only get 9 letters. Okay, and this test will fail. I think it'll give us back 10 because it gives us how many we ask for. So I guess we'll have to count them. I kind of wanted to avoid that. But maybe that's on me. I kind of assumed we had infinite, that you could have infinite sequences, but I don't really know if that's true in Swift. I've been reading about Haskell lately. It's true there. Does that count? No, these are gray. We are testing. Oh, maybe he can't do that because he starts up the thing in the first place. Okay. Um, let's make a wrong answer that will suffice. All right. Do I want to say that? Okay, so after I return 1, it's 1. But let's say if count greater than 100, return nil. Which is not right, but it will terminate. So it should, if assuming the problem was the termination thing. Yeah. Okay. um, this one failed. Okay, so it returned 10 instead of 9. Right. So let's make the right condition here. If count is greater than size times size squared. So if we ask for 9, well, if we ask for 10, we're bigger than 9, and we got a problem. Well, okay. Oh, the count's 1 behind at that point. Sorry. Now, usually we like these to be guards. Let's just do it this way. If count plus 1. If we returned 9, and now we're asking for something bigger. So let's say we gave out number 9, count plus equals 1 became 9. We gave out letter 9. Come back around, is 10 greater than 9? Yes. Okay, I think we're there. I noticed a blank square. I wonder if my multi-line thing is causing that. Can I terminate on the same line? Okay, run. Yeah, okay. Well, that's an awful lot of letters with E's in them. Yeah. Suspiciously a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 E's out of 16 letters. I mean, his odds are 12. All right, let me see if this is causing a problem. Must begin on a new line. Why are we getting a blank? Does that? I don't have any blanks in there. Okay. And let's count the vowels. 12, 21, 39, and U, 40, 44. Out of 100, 44% are vowels. I think our T's need to be more. 11, 18, 24, 33. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, 16 dice times 6 is 96. So 11, 18, 24, 33 out of 96, 1/3. That's still pretty high. Okay, why is that blank? Okay, I'm going to take this out and take the warning hit. It's kind of a long line. I'm surprised it's not yelling at me. Okay. P-A-L-P. We don't have any more A's. I was hoping for palpable. Ben. I don't know. Foci. You okay? Well, I'd like a board bigger for one thing. So let's make that true. That may not feel so constrained. And this is only 25 letters. Scrabble gives you 100 tiles. Boggle gives you 5, I think. This really should become an environment parameter. I think we want to make a setting for it at some point. I'd like to be able to do games of 5 or 6 or 7. Okay, our fixed size thing is in the way. I don't know. Pinked. Pinking shears cut with kind of an edge that won't ravel or unravel. So that should be a valid word. It's not in our dictionary, but that's the way it goes. Okay. Puce is a color. I'm going to wish we had something that would automatically do these. ENT, nut, ice. No. Can't get down there. No. All right. Well, TRUCE. Yeah. Well, we can do some words. All right. So let's put a note in. Make cell size depend on window size. Okay. This is just one phone. There's going to be different ones with different widths. And if these say I must be 75 pixels or whatever, then it's going to be a problem. Okay. Wow. I thought I would find a lot more words. Now, not every board is the same. Beep. I don't want to sit here and play the game. Okay. But we did this, and I think it looks plausible. Let's run again. I think we'll get a different board. I think random defaults to a random seed if you don't specify one. We could. Yeah, that's different. Okay. Poet. Boing. Can't quite reach boing. Bones. One S. Well, tars. Tears. Okay. OINTED. That's pretty good. Okay. Rotate. Yeah, now we're to the one. The reason this thing is called Betwist is because I want you to be able to rotate the grid and like move this column from the left to the right as if it were wrapped around a globe or something and they were neighbors already. Same thing for the T. These T's, I should be able to move them up to the top or POE down to the bottom. That would be good. All right, now I think it's like, how are you going to do this? Part of it is these things right now, they know their positions 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, and so on. If we shuffle them and leave the positions zero based, then or rotate them or twist them, and the positions are zero based, are we going to change those positions? If we do, then that screws up everything because our selection is in terms of locations. So the locations need to be consistent, even if the board looks different. Okay, now I think the board should be the thing that knows it's been rotated. And so what I think the board should be doing for you is if you say twist, I think it should be able to give you the indexes in order, the new X ones. So let's say we twist, I'm not sure which way it makes sense to say. If I twist left, I'm going to wrap around PGEAT to the right of this. All right. And so this should be 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3, 0, 4, 0, 0, and so on. And so I think that is the responsibility of this board to keep track of, or maybe grid. And so it will need to know what order you should send them out. And instead of 0 through 4, it's going to say you should send 1 through 4, then 0. But vertically, it'll still be 0 through 4 because we haven't rotated that way. And I think there's a twist method that takes a direction up, down, left, or right. And internally, I think it needs to track where the 0, 0 of the board is. So when we draw it, it looks like whatever's here is 0, 0. I think if we did that rotate, it should say 0, 1 is now the base. And yeah, so that's a lot. Let's take the easy thing first. Oh, let's commit this. we basically generate random boards. Now you can create a game and pass in your own game maker letters or whatever. That's fine. Okay. All right. So board. Yeah, I'm gonna rename this to grid. Okay. And then I think I'm gonna rename this to grid. And I'm gonna look for well, let's just make sure everything's good first. Then we'll do a board and then we'll push. Now our convention is really to use SUT, system under test, so they should have been doing that in the first place. And then I wouldn't have to go through and modify all these. And you can see one reason for SUT. Part of it is to emphasize what's being tested, but part of it is also to make it independent of the name of the focused class on your test. And yeah, I'm paying for that. So we're using, I think it's Brett Schuchert's convention. You name basically a noun or the noun or an apple, a noun with an for the test name. Then you try and make it read like a sentence. A grid knows its contents. A grid wraps out of bound indices and so on. And then we'll use SUT in here. And this name is, kind of should make sense as a sentence. Okay, let's run these. Because it's a board to a grid. Just commit. All right, and let me just look for board. There's probably a few places we said board that probably should say grid. I think the indexing is a lot faster, but if you try and rename while it's indexing, that's what gets it stuck, I think. Now, I don't know that board was such a terrible name for the grid there, but we'll get it consistent. Okay. Oh, that's back. What if I close content view? Will you forget it? Okay. Do rotate. This should really be twist in our language here. Okay, so I want a command that says twist, and I want to give it a direction. And I think we'll put it on grid for now, maybe forever. These directions, I'm going to call them twists, and well, okay, what do we got? We got up, down, left, right. I think we can put more information on them, but that's good enough for now. And we're going to put a command. I guess we're going to tell the grid to twist. Okay, so let's, where's a grid? Yeah, I think this must be an Xcode template. Let me try a different thing. What if I just say test? Nope, that's still not. Okay, that's one of theirs. Okay. Now you're still asking for the same location. Well, I guess twist left knows new indexes, I think. Row indexes. Okay. Let's take a small grid like this. Okay, so if I, interesting. Okay, so if I say sut.twist.left, okay, which we don't really have yet, and then I ask sut.row indexes should be equal to 1, 0. Okay, so in my big one it was 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 0. But this is a small grid, so 0 got put on the right. Maybe this should this be a 3 by 3 so we can really tell? Yeah, let's do that. What's my big grid? Maybe that's better. Big grid. I'm gonna make that name different. I'm gonna call it grid 4. Grid 4 X4. Yeah, I think that's gonna help. Okay, twist left, and its indexes should be 1, 2, 3, 0. And its column indexes should be, can I say rows? I'll leave it indexes for now. Okay, now the grid has none of this stuff. He doesn't have twist, he doesn't have row indexes, he doesn't have column indexes. So let's add it. So twist takes a direction of type twists. Maybe directions would be a better name. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, and he does nothing for the moment. And then we need a row indexes is array of int. I'm gonna make that a var. No. Okay, now a grid. Well, let's move this over, close to the right. Okay, so a grid should fail its tests. It'll give us empty for these two things. Nothing happens here. That's fine. Okay, empty does not equal. All right. Now, I think what I want, I think we need to know where that corner is. I don't know if corner's a good name, but let's say it. Corner of location. And then here, I'm going to say it starts out is 0, 0. Okay, because the first cell is over there, or over there to you, I guess. Okay. And then if what you should do is you should take the row, the first value, and add the size up to the size. Okay, so let's take the corner dot row dot less size. Okay, so that gives us 0 through 4 to start with. And then I think we're going to map each of those to $0. This is our wrap by size. Okay, so if it's 0, we get 0 up to, but not equal to 4 in our case, 0, 1, 2, 3, and we map each one to 0 up, wrapped by size, which is fine. Size is 4. Okay, but if the corner dot row were 1, we would take 1 through 5, up to 5. Instead of 0 up to 4, it's 1 up to 5. We'll get 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 mod wrapped by size is 0. So it comes out in the right order, is my claim. All right, and very similar here, but it's the column. Left to the size, map it to. Okay. Now, I think that will get us a failure that gets us 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3 for a grid of 4 by 4. All right, which is still not the right answer, but it's progress. Instead of empty, we should get 0, 1, 2, 3. 0, 1, 2, 3. And same. Oh, this is unchanged, so he's happy. Okay. Now, twist has to do his job. Now, the easiest thing... Well, I was going to get all fancy. But maybe I just do a case statement and be done with it. Okay. Switch direction. Case. We're doing left. Default. Do nothing. What do we want to do? Well, if you're twisting left, you're adding 1 to the column. So corner equals a location with corner dot row plus 1 and corner dot column. Okay, we're not affecting the column, but we're incrementing the row by 1. Okay, now what's your problem? Semicolon not allowed. Break. Cannot assign. Okay, it's a constant. He has to be a variable. Is that a good thing? Okay. Cannot find corner in scope. Oh, what did I do? Oh, I let it do it and it already didn't. Okay. Such as a let. Okay, let's change that. I hope that doesn't have any problems it creates. I hope to pass. 1, 2, 3. What does that mean? Expected 1, 2, 3, 0 got 1, 2, 3. Wait a minute. Corner dot row. Did I make the row column? Well, let me put a print in here. Should I just run the one test maybe? Oh, no, that's not right. I think maybe we should just go 0 to size. $0 plus corner dot row. I think it might read a little better the other way around. And then same thing down here. I hit run. Okay, cool. Now we don't have a way to twist in our user interface, but I think we're on a good track. So let's add a button so we can see this on the interface and make sure we're happy. But I think in the long run, I'd rather have a swipe be enough to do it if we can do that without confusing things. But let's look at content view. Okay, still got that error. Good grief. Let's put those buttons. Maybe on the bottom is okay. And for now, it's just a button. Let's see what we did here. Well, what's this? It's system name. Well, let's just put words there for the moment. And we're going to say game.twist. We want to say game, but we only have as grid. Okay, twist left. All right, that tells me we don't have game.twist. And again, this is one of these pass-through functions. Twist, correction. Whoops. Now this is a var as well. Okay, well, that's the worst looking button, but left should send GAEG over to the right. It's not doing it. Now, let's make sure we have a binding to game. Here, yes. And let's look in the... He's a var, okay. I'm wondering if it's a display issue. You would think it would know that the game changed. Okay, let's make sure we're getting there. Sure enough. Okay. Let's step over and look at game. Grid. Corner 15. Okay, that's... I suspected we were going to make corners too big, but I don't know how it got quite so big. I don't think I clicked it 15 times. Maybe I did. All right. Let's talk to. Let's make a new test. Okay. Why it doesn't update? I don't know. Oops. Okay, so the setup is going to be the same. All right, so if I do this once, twice, three, four times, all right, I expect to get back to my original. I think what's going to happen is I'm going to get up to 4. And then, well, I don't know. Maybe I can't tell with the calendar. Or not calendar, but corner. I want corner to wrap, but I don't know that it's going to. Maybe it doesn't matter because well, that tells me I can do it without worrying then. Corner dot row plus 1 wrap by size. All right, I don't. I'm going to run it and break here too. I think corner is getting updated. I just don't think, for whatever reason, grid is not. Okay, so if I hit left, okay, we'll hit the button. I'll continue. We hit corner. Okay, so let's look at corner. 0, 0. We'll step over, and it's 1, 0. Okay, so he has changed. All right, now let's get here. Continue. Oh, we're not using row indexes. Okay, sorry. Let's see. So here we've hard coded the grid being filled in. So this should be game dot row indexes. Okay, well we'll fix that shortly. Column indexes. Okay, let's try that again. I want to add pass-through functions on the grid. Okay, now EMPUL should show up on the right. Okay, we moved it to the bottom instead of the right. Yeah, because I should be changing columns, not rows. Well, I warned you at the start of this that I would be doing this multiple times. Okay, left should change, should have corner dot row, but corner dot column should be different. Okay, so HJAEE should show up on the right. Yeah. 4, 5, and we're back to HJ. Okay, cool. Now I think there's a test that's messed up because I picked the wrong dimension. Yeah. So this should be 0, 1, 2, 3. The row dimension should not change, but this should be 1, 2, 3, 0. Hopefully that's what it expected or got. Okay. And let me just see if we do a system name. No. Okay, I'll have to find how to do that again. Okay. Well, all right. So I think that gives us left. Let's do right. I don't know that we need to check the wrapping like that. Those new column indexes. Okay. Now if we twist right, the row indexes don't change, but we should have 3, 0, 1, 2. The last column should have pulled over to the leftmost column. And I didn't pay attention, but rotating should leave the selection untouched. We'll have to make sure that's true. Okay, that failed. So we don't have twist right. And that was +1. Now we go -1. Okay, and here's where our %%, because this could go negative, and we want to make sure it's okay. You know, I had a very ugly twist right button. Oops. Column indexes. Okay, so it should have gone, we were at 0, 0, we did column -1 is now -1%, size should be 3 as corner. Okay, so let's run that test and take a peek when it does this. Did I not twist right? Okay. Okay. And we'll put a button in here. I guess I'll make an H deck for these. Well, I don't have spool or spook. Right should bring IC over to the left. And my selection stayed the same. Okay. 4, 5. Okay. Good. All right. Well, I think we can do the last two tests in one go here. Okay, twist up knows the new row indexes. So if we twist up, we're taking row 0 and moving it to the bottom. Okay, so these should be unchanged. And this should be at the bottom. Okay. And that test will fail. Column indexes came out 3012. Why would that be? Row index is 0123. Yes, I believe that. But did we edit the column indexes? Okay, corner row plus 1 wrapping by size. Corner dot column is unchanged. Row indexes are, oh, I'll learn eventually. Explains why the column indexes are changing. Okay. And one last test. Instead of 1, 2, 3, 0, I think it's 3, 0, 1, 2. Okay, and we'll add a couple buttons. Again, very ugly. Okay, so down should put Lalia up on top. Okay, now WB Dan up should undo that. Okay, right. Okay, I think we've done that feature. These buttons are pretty horrendous, but for the grid, improve the buttons for twisting and allow, what do you call, swipe? So I'd like it if you swipe up, left, right, or down, it just does it. It would be fancy if it like based itself on how fast you swiped or something, but mostly I think you just want to do one at a time, and the grid isn't going to be that big. If it was, 500 by 500, it'd be very tedious to get all the way through it, but for 5. Okay, so that's the twist. Okay, and then cell size dependent, window size, no duplicates, dictionary. Right. Okay, scores and errors. I think error field goes with no duplicates. Sound would be nice to have a little ticking sound while it rotates. Okay. There was something, oh, I remember now. Game does not pass through row indexes and column indexes, so let's make it do that. And that's just going to be this. And then the column. That should up in here. So that's one of those law of Demeter train wreck things. This dot that dot this dot that. You're navigating through the structure of game, and you know that it's going to have a grid, and you know the grid is going to have column indexes. It's a little nicer to do it this way, and then if game wants to change how it accesses the column indexes, maybe it stores them outside the grid, that would be fine. Because notice before our grid was read-only, and now we've added state to it and it's modifiable. So I could imagine saying there's some other entity that's sort of a, I don't know, a twister or something that knows tracks the column indexes relative to the size or something like that. Um, Adding that in now would not affect it before it would. Okay. And that might be a good direction. I don't know. We'll add that on the to do. Consider a separate object for twisting. Okay. Yeah, because the grid itself, it knows its locations, it knows its letters and all that. Okay. Well, um, I'm just gonna run one more time. All right, and then we'll call it a stop here. Um, I think we'll stop a little early. Hopefully, I can get this thing uploaded and you can watch it. I wish Mudshark in particular you were here because you've been very faithful in attending all of these. Um, but because we did solve something, so that's pretty cool. Um, and I will try and upload it tonight if I can, and I hope my internet's back at some point. We'll see what happens. Thanks. Bye bye.